Yeah, I don't ever remember feeling like this. But I'm out here in these YouTube streets. So I want you to get your fingers.
I don't know what you're doing.
I want you to get your mouse.
I want you to check me out.
And I want you to check me out.
Get ready to do this. It's the relationship rehab. Like, share, and subscribe. We coming at you live. So come on, let's take a ride. Then subscribe to United Guns of America. Just click that link and listen up to what I'm telling you. It's the relationship rehab.
Click that link right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I just want y'all to subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let me know what you think. I'm gonna talk about some things, you can talk about some things, and we can do our thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about having a conversation, right? I mean, if we can't talk to each other, then, I mean, what are we really here for? I want y'all to be able to just come over to my channel, talk to me about what's going on with you, and I can tell you what's going on with me, and we can feel some things, you know what I'm saying? That's all about growth, baby. So click that link, go ahead and swipe on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Share my content. It's just get me out here, baby. Cause we just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I like doing what I'm doing because it's about the people. It's about us having a conversation with each other. It's about us discussing whatever needs to be discussed. And on these YouTube streets, this is the best place to do it, baby. Like, share, and subscribe. That's right. Click the link. Click the link. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's out here that's already subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ain't the first one, and y'all ain't the last one. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that click the link, that click the share, and then subscribe to your boy. Cause we gon' grow this thing together, baby. Relationship rehabbing, United Guns of America. To the world, blow up, baby. Yeah. Click the link, baby. Click the link, baby. Yeah. Hey, I just want to send a shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. That's why I do this. It's for the love of us, baby. I appreciate all of y'all. Ooh, we gon' do this thing. We gon' do this thing right here, baby. Hey, look, if you at a computer right now, just go ahead and click your link. What else you got to lose, baby? Tell me what you think. Hit the comment section. You can jump on the live panel. We do it all here. That's what it's all about. So come holler at your boy. I've been doing this for years, but I just got onto this YouTube thing. So hey, let's see what it do and where it can go.
To United Guns of America. Just click the link and listen up to what I'm telling you.
And there you have it. I am back. I had some real bad technical difficulties. My computer just was not responding, and at one point I was almost gonna say to hell with it, but my wife, she begged me to do a show, so here I is. And yes, let me turn that off. I don't need to turn that on. What the wife want, the wife gets. Yeah, boy. All right, y'all. It is one more time that your boy Brian Redmond is coming at you. And this is the Relationship Rehab. And I am going to adjust my volume just a little bit. Yeah, how was that? Is that a little bit better? Is that a little bit better? I don't know if that is. It seems like it's not loud. Hold on. Why is my... Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, but sometimes this is what it's like when you got somebody that's doing everything on his own. Let me go here and see if... No, that's turned up. And that's turned up. All my audio shit is right, I believe. Let me just double check here. But I just wanted to test the sound, but it seems like it's like very low. AJ says it's good, so it's good. Yeah, but it sounds like I can be louder for some reason. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds here. Let me. Oh, I think I got it. Hold up. Wait a minute. All right. So if I turn that up, let's see if that gets louder. Oh, nope. That ain't gonna make it louder. Yep. There's the noise thing gone, and then let's see if that makes it louder. Now, does that make it louder? Does that make it louder? It don't. No, it don't. All right, let's do this. That's so weird. Let's do. I want a large gain, so I'm gonna turn up my gain. All right, let's see if that's better. Hopefully that's better. I don't know. Could be, maybe. Nope. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, hold on. Hold it. All right. So that is good, ain't it? Let me make sure, because I think it is. It's too loud. Yup. Yeah, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, hold on. All right, so that should be back to where it's good again, ain't it? It should be good now. Yes, no, maybe so. I hear it clipping now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. So there. Right click on your audio. I already did that. That wasn't the problem. I screwed up. Is the problem. All right. So does that sound better now? Or does that sound okay? Let me just make sure. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Yeah. Yep. All right. Make sure that's not cutting me off. Okay. Yeah, so what my dumbass did, so I'm listening to it in my ear, but I had my volume down too far, so it sounded like I was low, but I really wasn't. So I apologize, because, yeah, I screwed up. Yep. So everything is good. It is all good. Okay. All right. So let me get this shit out my ear, and let me go ahead and go on with my show. So, and I think what I'm going to do, because it got screwed up earlier, I'm just going to edit the show when it's done. So people who watch this on the playback, they'll just see the good part where the show starts. And I'm going to mark that by doing this. Welcome to another show on the Relationship Rehab. I am your host, Brian Redmond. And on tonight, we're going to be talking about a shooting that occurred down in San Antonio, Texas. And a police officer was actually shot. And that police officer was actually able to return fire, good for him, to where he was able to shoot at the people who shot at him. And I wanted to do this video for one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this video is because this is one of those instances where I talk about police officers not taking their stops seriously. The thing about being a good police officer is that you have to make sure that you are consistent as far as your safety precautions with every single stop. You got to treat every single stop and every single bad guy like they are. I mean, every single person that you stop and every single citizen like they are the worst person. And the reason why you need to do that is because when something does go wrong, you are going to be prepared for it. Because a lot of the times these officers, they get so complacent and they think that shit ain't going to happen and shit ain't going to go left. And that's exactly when it does go left. They have a slow reaction or they don't react at all sometimes. And I just wanted to make sure that I can drive that home to some of my fellow officers and also to teach the lesson to some of these citizens out here, things not to do so that you won't get shot. Because a lot of times we have things where a lot of times citizens do the wrong things and it leads to them getting shot because they don't listen, they don't comply, they get nervous. I don't give a shit, whatever the case may be. You have to be in control of your actions and how you carry yourself and how you behave when you're out in public, period. Whether you're dealing with the police or dealing with another person, you got to be responsible. So without further ado, let's go to my favorite part of the show.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
All right, so let me give a shout out to a few of you all. This was kind of an impromptu show. I'm glad I'm doing it because I want to do a show. Period. I try to give y'all as much content as I possibly can, and it's just because of the way my life is set up right now. I can't broadcast as often as I would like, but hey, hopefully in the near future that will change, and I'll be able to bring you guys a lot more shows. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing and haven't subscribed. This is your first time watching. Click the subscribe button. Shout out to everybody on the United Guns of America channel. Thank you guys so much. If you have not subscribed to the United Guns of America channel, please do so. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get it started. And first up is going to be not the actual thing, but oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I think I still got to find that, but I will. No problem. All right, we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and do this first. Yeah, there we go.
2 shootings in less than 24 hours. Just this morning, a traffic stop turned deadly on a busy stretch of Penn Road on the city's west side.
2 people were killed, 2 others injured, including a San Antonio police officer. Police Chief William McManus says that officer was forced to take out his service weapon and open fire to protect himself. The night team's Patty Santos was at the scene where witnesses describe what happened.
The way they did it was coward. Because he wasn't even, I think if he would have made it up to the front window of the driver's side, they would have shot him point blank right there.
The woman who captured this video says she was recording a traffic stop when she saw a San Antonio police officer nearly killed. She called 911 before she started rolling.
It's sad that people had to die, but they didn't give that policeman a chance.
We were here talking about the traffic stop.
About a block away, Jorge Velasquez says he thought he was watching a usual traffic stop here at this 4-way on Penn Road and Westfield Boulevard, known for pullovers.
We thought they killed the officer.
He then watched the officer take cover behind his patrol car and shoot back, about 8 times, he thinks, but silence from the truck. By the time he got close enough, he says the suspects were dead and a woman was on the sidewalk injured.
The officer was covered in blood. Another officer took him to the hospital.
What these witnesses say resembles what San Antonio Police Chief William McManus says he saw on the officer's dash camera video. He says it was a casual traffic stop until the driver pulled a gun.
The passenger and the driver were both shot. They are both deceased, and the third passenger was transported to the hospital, shot in the upper torso.
The officer was shot in the hand and another bullet landed on his radio. A swarm of police units covered the scene for hours. Witnesses say it was eye-opening.
I can honestly say, like this, I have a new respect for them.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, buddy. So here is, and man, I did want to mention something. So I saw that that Demaryius Thomas died, but have they said how he died? I know that he was found like at his house, and they were saying that it was possibly a medical issue. But has there been any evidence to say like how he actually died? That was weird to me. It was like they showed it, but they like never really like brought that up. So I didn't get a chance to really like dive into it and research it. But I was just wondering if anybody knew anything about that. That was kind of weird to me that my man is checked out, and rest in peace to him. But yeah, it was kind of weird that he just like died like that and nobody knows nothing. Like, don't nobody know nothing? It's like, what the hell is going on? But yeah. All right, hold on. I want to make sure that I have this other video so that I can, oh shit, I don't have it. Yeah, I don't. Huh. Isn't that something? Well, what the hell did I download? I don't know. Okay, but hang on, and I'm gonna start this other one while I try to find this other video. Yeah, because that's weird that I don't have that, and it is not in my. Oh wait, it could be in my history thing. Yeah, the dude, he was only it is still unclear. Okay, yeah. Demaryius Thomas was only they said I think he was about to turn 34 this year. And he had just retired in June. He said he had seizures in the bathtub. Oh, I hope it's not. It wasn't some of that CTE stuff that's going on. I hope that wasn't it. But yeah, man, he was young, man. That dude was 33 when he retired. Like, damn. And he was a damn good football player, but yeah, it's sad that he checked out on us, man. Rest in peace to him, and my prayers go out to the family. But let me go ahead and start this other one, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this. Yep, and do that. Yeah. Then that way I can. Yep. There we go. Yeah.
The car was occupied by 2 men and 1 woman.
Hey, stop digging in your pocket, bro. Huh?
Immediately after making contact with the driver, the officer instructed the front seat passenger to stop going through his pockets. Shortly after, the officer asked the driver to turn off the car and place the keys where the officer can see them out of concern that the driver may drive away.
Hey, turn the car off. I like gas, man. Sorry. Let me get the keys.
Why?
So I'm going to put them up here so you don't take off.
I'm not going to take off on you.
Okay, well, let me get the keys. If you ain't going to take off, I'm just going to put them up here just so you don't take off. It's for my safety.
Look, I'm not. Look.
Here you go. Put them up there? Yeah, there you go, bro.
The officer then asked for the ID of the passenger.
You got your ID on you, man?
Well, they're just my passengers. Yeah, I'm the passenger.
And the officer asked the driver to step out of the car after he says he smells marijuana.
Okay.
Why?
I told you to. Step out.
Whoa. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to give my insurance card.
It smells like marijuana. I need you.
I'm sorry. Yes, I did smoke. I did smoke earlier. And but it's the smell on me. Okay, I'm being honest with you.
We'll figure that out.
No, well, I'm being honest with you.
Both the driver and the passenger are resistant to the officer's request.
I came to give him a ride to go see his bell box. You got your license and registration?
The passenger in the vehicle is heard asking the backseat passenger for a gun.
Huh?
Stop reaching around, man.
No, I thought you wanted me to get the insurance card.
No.
Why? Sir, please.
Stop reaching around.
The suspect's gunfire hits the officer in the hand. Gunfire also strikes his police radio. The officer takes cover behind his patrol unit, dropping his weapon in the process. The officer retrieves his firearm from the ground, dropping his radio in the process, and returns fire. Though his gun continues to jam because he is unable to firmly grip the gun as a result of the gunshot wound to his hand. While the individuals in the car cease fire, the officer continues to shoot as he sees movement inside the vehicle and fears he may be shot again by the suspects. The officer retrieves his radio, realizing it is broken, and urges bystanders to call police.
Shots fired. Call the police! Call the police! Call the police! Call the police! My radio's down! Tell them my radio's down!
Here is a relevant portion of the dash camera video synced with the officer's body camera video.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
So here's why I wanted to show you guys that first, because I wanted you to get just a rolling image of what actually took place, and then I'm gonna break it down. I don't understand this, how me being the small YouTuber that I am, this just baffles me. Being the small YouTuber that I am, how is it that at 1:30 in the morning I got a Hassan Campbell troll account, whom I don't know, whom I've never even talked to, coming over here talking about me and my show and Tommy? And then I got somebody else, Jason Fabres, who comes over here and says, please leave Tommy alone. What the fuck are y'all doing with your lives to where this man has this much real estate? He's living in y'all heads to where y'all coming to fuck with me. I'm nobody. I'm the smallest YouTuber ever. Out of all of the places that you could be at on YouTube, out of all of the things that you could be doing with your life at 1:30 in the morning, not one, but two come over here to try to tell me something about Tommy. Why would y'all need to come and talk to me about Tommy? I have no idea. But y'all are so infatuated and in love with this man, and you're such a fan that he just did a show. You could be saying something on his show. You could be saying something on his OnlyFans. You can subscribe and watch him all day. But instead, you want to come here to do what? To me. Why would you come here to do that? That's insane, dude. It's like, I'm nobody. I am nobody. I don't have even remotely even a close to large following. I don't. I just do my thing on my show, on my platform, and now I got somebody trying to tell me what the fuck I need to do. Why is that? Why is that? You did do something wrong, Jason. Why would you feel the need to come here to even say what you're saying? I don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't even know what the fuck that means. You come in and you say, what's up, amazing people? Then you come right back and say, I love your show. Will you stop there? Nope. Now you come and say, please leave Tommy alone. Why would you say that? Then you come back after that and say, I said nothing wrong. Why do you need to come and say anything? I don't understand that. And then it's like, even with Hassan Campbell, like your dumb motherfucker can't spell, your shoe starting to become better than Tommy. Why do you need to say that? What is the purpose of you saying that? What is that supposed to do for me by you saying that? I don't get it. And it's amazing to me how these women raised black men do this type of trolling. Y'all are worse than the most obsessed female stalkers ever. The worst. The worst. And it's like y'all think that it's some shit that's really going to do something, but it's not. I don't understand why you would do that. Jason says, now you come and say, I'm sorry, then. Please forgive me. All I'm asking is for an understanding. Why do you feel the need to come and tell me that? Why do you feel the need to do that? That's just like if I go to Kevin Hart's show and I'm watching him on stage, why would I go up there and shout out, hey, Kevin, I love your show. You're better than Lavelle Crawford. Why would I do that? Please leave Lavelle Crawford alone. It's like, dude, there's no reason to do these types of things. I don't understand why they feel the need to come here to do that. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Let these troll and these troll. We all know. He said I was talking about the troll Hassan Campbell. But here's the thing. We all know that this is not the real Hassan Campbell. We all know that it's a troll account. Just like when Kevin Samuels come over here. It's the same thing. Why would you entertain a troll? Y'all know good and goddamn well Kevin Samuels ain't studying me, and neither is Hassan Campbell. They have no reason to. So why would you even feel the need to actually entertain or even to respond to that in the chat if you're here for my show? That's all I'm saying. So it's like we're supposed to be adults. I'm not going to even get into the man thing. We're supposed to be adults. Be adults. And let the person who has the platform, who has the show, who decided to go live at 1 o'clock in the morning, let that person do his show. If there's something that's bothering you or there's something that you take issue with, if it is not pertaining to the topic at hand, don't say anything or leave. One or the other. That's all. That's how adults conduct themselves. If something is going on that you don't like and you don't take party to, you usually leave because it's not yours. You're not going to change me and change anything that I'm going to do by typing something in the chat. So why even do that? Just leave if you don't like it. If you got an opinion about it and you think you want me to do what you want me to do, you know good and goddamn well I ain't going to do it. So don't say anything at all. There are plenty of YouTubers whose channels I watch, and then I see some shit I don't like and I don't watch them anymore. I just don't. I'll say I'm not watching this shit no more. This shit is whack. So it's nothing wrong with that. I just do. So I'm just asking you to do the same thing, because if you were live right now and I came over to your shit and you was doing something I didn't like or something that wasn't entertaining to me, I wouldn't get in the chat and say, I don't like this, y'all. I'm out. I would just click on the X and leave. I did it today. I was watching Brandon Tatum's show, and he had 3 other dudes on there, and the panel was so dry and it was so fucking lame. They were trying to be funny and entertaining to some degree, talking about Juicy Smollett. How easy is that to talk about? And it was so dry and so lame that I said, damn, I can't even watch it, because it wasn't even the fact of me. I wanted to hear what their point was. I wanted to hear what their points of view were, but they were so, best way to describe it is they were so dry. It was such a, they had no charisma. They had no je ne sais quoi. They had no flair. They were all literally just talking monotone, trying to be funny. And it's like, I couldn't watch it. I didn't say nothing in the chat. I didn't talk shit and say, man, y'all dudes sound whack as fuck. I didn't say anything. I just said, let me go watch something else. That's all I did. That's all I did. And I've done that several times. And I even said today, I'm going to stop watching his panel shows because they're just not that good. When he's talking for like 20 minutes or something like that, 30 minutes, he says some good things, cool. I like ABL. He's cool. But I don't dig the panel thing because they all kind of like sound the same and none of them have like real like personality. Like even with ABL, his personality would it being that kind of like, he kind of sound like the teacher from Ferris Bueller. Bueller. He doesn't have a lot of inflection in his voice. He just literally talks. So if you just want to hear something that's just straight facts, that's fine, because you're going to get that from him. But when you got 4 people doing the same goddamn thing, it's fucking deadening. It's like dying a slow death. So that's why I just say, well, let me just stop watching those. I'll stop watching those. I'll watch the other stuff, but I ain't going to watch that. That's all I did. I didn't type a goddamn thing in the chat. That's how we need to be. If you don't like it, just leave. If you don't like it, just click the X and go on to the next one. That's all. All right. And that's all I have to say about that. Let me go ahead and get into what I really came here for, which was my breakdown. Yes, because I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be very good. I'm very excited. All right. So here's what pretty much has taken place. Officer goes and he pulls over Ben Stein, that was his name. I was trying to think of a Crestline. Thank you. Officer pulls over a pickup truck, regular routine traffic stop. And once he pulls over this person, he goes up to the car like he normally does, and he starts talking. He starts going through, hey, license, registration, all of that. And as he's going through it, he begins to see that this person is, number one, acting, kind of squirrely, and is not complying with his commands. And eventually what happens is that the guys just start shooting at him. They literally just start saying, hey, fuck it, I'm going to shoot this motherfucker. And they literally just get into a straight shootout with the officer. And it's like, damn, that's just how it goes. That's how it just went down. There was no, hey, let me see what the problem is. Hey, I ain't going. They just literally started shooting at this guy. But there are several things that occurred that let you know not only was this stop going left, but it was going to end bad because this officer did not take control. He did not take control of the situation. And sometimes you have to just stop somebody in their tracks and show them that you are ruthless. That's what you have to do, especially when you're dealing with savages, especially when you're dealing with criminals. You have to have that in you to where you can literally stop everything and say, this is what the fuck it is. This is how it's going to go down if you keep doing what you're doing. Because that's what a lot of police officers try not to do. And then by the time they think, oh, it's time to level up and it's game on, usually it's too late and there's so many things going against them that sometimes they wind up getting hurt like this officer did, or they wind up dead. They wind up dead. And I'm so tired of seeing this happen with police officers because they're trying to be nice guys. They're worried about getting backlash and getting called racist or getting, prosecuted because of their actions when their lives are the ones that's on the line. Stop letting the media and stop letting the political correctness that state of political correctness that we're in. Stop letting that put your life in danger, because you have a bigger responsibility to not only your family and your fellow officers, but to the community as well. Because these people that you let do this type of stuff, they take away a lot of times good people, and in some cases good officers. So I just want to show you guys that, and we're going to break this down and we're going to get on up out of here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start this. If I can, there we go.
And new on the Night Beat, 2 videos released tonight showing deadly encounters with San Antonio police.
The videos are the first to be released since the department implemented its police policy on releasing body camera footage. Back in December, SAPD announced it would release portions of body cam videos and 911 calls in certain instances. When a San Antonio police officer shoots someone or uses force that results in a person's death. The video would also be released within 60 days of the incident, as long as the police chief gives his approval. If he chooses not to, the policy states he should tell the public the reasons why. The videos released today are edited and produced by the police department and narrated by an officer. They do not show the entire incident.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later. They also make it clear the videos they are showing are what the San Antonio Police Department believes is relevant to the shootings. We're going to start off with a traffic stop that escalated into the fatal shooting of 2 men. Tonight, the family of one of those men disputing what was released tonight. And we do want to warn you, these videos are difficult to watch. The heavily produced video released by SAPD starts with an introduction from their public affairs manager.
This critical incident video release is intended to provide you with information as the department currently understands it.
Then a San Antonio police officer narrates what's happening in the body cam video.
The car was occupied by 2 men and 1 woman.
This was the traffic stop on April 16th on Penn Road near Highway 90. The encounter starts off calmly. The driver is Sammie Barbosa. His family says he was pulled over for not turning on his blinker. The police officer asks him to turn off the car and place the keys somewhere that he can see them.
I'm not gonna take off on you.
Okay, well, let me get the keys. If you ain't gonna take off, I'm just gonna put them up here just so you don't take off. It's for my safety.
Look, I'm not.
Okay, you want to put them up there? Yeah, there you go, bro.
The officer asks Barbosa to step out of the car because he smells marijuana.
I did smoke. I did smoke earlier, but it's the smell on me. I'm being honest with you.
In the edited video, police say the passenger asked the backseat passenger for a gun. The police officer tells Barbosa to step out of the truck.
Why? Sir, please.
5340 and 5356, cross over.
Stop reaching around.
Turn over to 10 left.
The passenger with the gun shoots the officer's finger. The officer retreats behind his patrol unit to get his gun that's now on the ground. He returns fire, hitting Barbosa, the front seat passenger, and a third passenger in the back seat. In the edited video, the police officer says that the officer on the scene feared for his life. This is a second angle of the shooting. This is dash cam video from the officer's patrol unit. You see the officer grabbing his gun from his holster as the front seat passenger, Alex Garcia, fires a gun, hitting the officer first. Tonight, Barbosa's family says these heavily edited and narrated videos don't show the entire story. Barbosa's sister, father, and mother saw the unedited versions earlier this week. Barbosa's nephew spoke on behalf of the family. He said the unedited version shows Barbosa complied with the officer's demands the entire time and kept his hands where the officer could see them.
The version that was released to the public today was a very edited and scripted video that I feel like portrays a certain justifiable as like killing somebody. I don't understand why the police officer would shoot first at the driver knowing that he was compliant and didn't have any weapons, then shoot at the person second who's firing at him.
Sammie Barbosa was a father of 4. His youngest, just 4 years old. He was killed the day before his other son's 6th birthday. His family says Barbosa would never shoot a police officer.
Taught me everything that I know today and just becoming the person who I am, which is being honest and kind and always putting your family first no matter what.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there real quick and I'm going to go back to this video. Because what I want to do is I want to actually point out exactly what happened. And you can see that in the footage. It's not scripted. I don't know why he said that, but it definitely shows you what pretty much happened. So,
the car was occupied by 2 men and 1 woman.
Hey, stop digging in your pocket, bro. Huh?
He said, stop digging in your pocket.
Immediately after making contact with the driver, the officer instructed the front seat passenger to stop going through his pockets. Shortly after, the officer asked the driver to turn off the car and place the keys where the officer can see them out of concern that the driver may drive away.
Which is standard procedure. You think dude might run, you want to get them keys out of the ignition and put them either on top of the vehicle or on top of the dash. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, my man Lancelot, hit your boy up with the membership. He's a platform supporter. Hey, Lance, you are now on a new level.
I'm on a new level. I'm on it. I'm on a new level. I'm on it. I'm on a new level. I'm on it. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. That's what's up. All right, let's go ahead and get back to it.
Hey, turn the car off.
He hasn't turned
like gas, man. Sorry. Let me get the keys.
Why?
Someone put them.
Now, he's telling him, hey, put the keys on top of the, give me the keys and put them on top of the vehicle. And I'm not even upset with dude asking like, why? He's saying like, why? He's like, man, shit. I've never had that done before, potentially, which is why he would ask why. Not a problem. Watch what happens.
Up here so you don't take off.
I'm not going to take off on you.
Okay, well, let me get the keys. If you ain't going to take off, I'm just going to put them up here just so you.
I'm not going to take off on you. He said, I don't want you to take off on me. He explained it to him, right? So even though they have a little disagreement, watch what he does.
You don't take off. It's for my safety.
Look, I'm not.
Here you go. Put them up there. Yeah, there you go, bro.
The officer then asked.
So he then puts them on the dashboard. I promise you right now, I don't see no problem. Even though he contested what I asked him to do, I'm not going to be like this guy's a total asshole. Maybe this guy just has never had anything like that done to before. It seemed quite odd. But if you ain't running, you ain't going nowhere, what difference would it make? Go ahead and comply. And the officer was even being cool with it and was like, all right, cool. You want to put it on the dashboard? Fuck it. Fine. Ain't no problem with that. Sometimes it's not always about, you got to do exactly what I say every time I say. Sometimes it ain't about that. Sometimes it is a little give and take. Hey man, I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. No problem. This ain't no big red signal for me. Let's keep going.
For the ID of the passenger.
You got your ID on you, man? Well, they're just my passengers. Yeah, I'm the passenger.
Do you have your ID on you? No. Just like today, I forgot my wallet at home. And if I didn't have my ID, that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to tell the officer. Because what? How many times have you gotten pulled over by the police for a traffic stop or whatever the fuck it was, and you have not been asked for your ID? So you know it's going to come up. You know it's gonna come up. Thanks, man. I hit me up. Lancelot hit me up with $2. Thank you. I appreciate it. He said, here's a little something for the show. Thank you, sir. And if anybody else is watching the show, please feel free to hit that cash out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It is the holidays, so let's be in the holiday spirit of cheerful giving. But I mean, that always happens. A police officer is not gonna pull you over and not ask for ID. I need to check your driver's license to make sure your shit is straight. Even if you don't have your driver's license, that is not a crime. It ain't against the law because you could potentially have your driver's license and it could very well be valid. You just left it at home, left it at your girlfriend's house, you left it at your mama's house, whatever. That happens. But if you do, be prepared to answer additional questions so that we can verify who you are. Just be prepared for that. Ain't no, why you gotta ask all that? I'm supposed to ask all of this. Because you could be operating a vehicle illegally. Could you? Or could you not? Could you be doing that? Yes. And if that's what you're doing, it is my job to make sure that you don't do it. And if you do, I take you to jail for it.
And the officer asked the driver to step out of the car after he says he smells marijuana.
Now, there is what you call probable cause. A police officer in good faith says that, hey, I smell what I believe to be marijuana. Step out of the vehicle. Once that police officer says that, all you need to do at that point is comply. Get your ass out. Get your punk ass out the car. Period. There is nothing, and hear me, civilians and police officers, once you start going down this road, this is it. If somebody then, if they try to oppose what it is that you're doing, if they try to contest what it is that you're doing, now is the point to where police officers need to get more assertive and threaten the use of force of some kind. And people, civilians, once a police officer asks you to step out the car, there is no way that you're not gonna get out of the fucking car. So you might as well just step out of it. Thanks, Mike. Mike Brown hit your boy with $5. I appreciate it, bro. There's no way that you're gonna get out of that. So step your ass out of the car. He said he smelled marijuana. I don't give a fuck what your explanation is. You still got to get out because I asked you to. Get your punk ass out the car.
Okay. Why? Because I told you to. Step out. Whoa. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to give you my insurance card. It smells like marijuana. I need you.
Now, there is your first sign of bullshit. Now, am I not only going to think that this guy is a bad guy, I'm going to think that he is the worst kind of bad guy. I'm going to think he's the worst one of them all. Why is that? Because he clearly heard my directive. He clearly heard why I'm telling him he needs to get out the car. And he then goes on and starts doing some other shit and talking other shit, trying to get around it. He is evading. And that's when I would tell him, stop. And I'm telling you like this to my fellow officers out there. Sometimes you have to tell a person to say, hey, stop. I need you to shut up and listen to what I'm about to tell you. I need for you to get out of the vehicle. I don't need any other explanations. I don't need to hear any other bullshit that you're going to tell me as to why you're not or you don't want to. If you do not get out of this vehicle, and I mean right now, I am going to level up on force, whether that be tasing you, whether that be putting my hands on you. Get out of the vehicle now. I don't want to hear anything else that you have to tell me until I get you out of the vehicle. That's what you need to do. Stop playing with these people, because all you're doing is giving them more time to start bullshit. The more time you procrastinate and the more time that you don't assert yourself, the more time you're giving your bad guy time to formulate a plan to circumvent what the fuck you're trying to do. Mr. Maxwell asked a question on the UGOA page. He says, doesn't the law say you're required to have ID while operating a motor vehicle? I believe it does, but it's not. I don't think it's ID. You got to have ID on you. I think you have to have a valid driver's license to operate a motor vehicle. It could be in some states where you got to have it on you, but I know there are some states where you can give like your name and they can run your name and your social and they can verify if you got a valid license or not. I've seen that happen, several times. So sometimes they can be a stickler about it and say, yeah, but they be like, hey, do you know your driver's license number? Or do you know your social? Can you give me your social and all that? Let me run your shit and see if your shit come up. Then you cool. Because with that, your picture and all that stuff should come up as well with the when they run your name. And that's when they can check to see if you got warrants or any type of traffic violations and all that kind of shit. So usually that's what can happen. But it could be a law where you got to have it, and they could be a stickler about that and be like, no, fuck that. Your ass got to go to jail. You got to get out the car. Can't drive.
So, yes, I did smoke. I did smoke earlier. And
there's the admission of the probable cause. So all that shit that his nephew or his brother was talking about, how shit was scripted and how he would have never done nothing against the police, he's doing it right now. He's doing it right now. He's telling him, the officer tells him, I need you to step out because I smell marijuana and I know I'm going to check your ass out. Get out the car. And then the guy says, no. Oh, why you going to do that? Wait, I did smoke back there, back when I was at home 7 years ago. I did smoke then and you just smell it on me. That's all. I'm not high right now per se, but man, fuck all that. I smell it. Get your punk ass out the car. It's illegal. Plain and simple. It's illegal. Get your ass out the car. And the fact that he's not lets you know he's a bad guy. Period. I don't give a fuck if he ain't got a gun, if he got a gun, if he got a knife, whatever. He's trying not to he's intentionally not complying with you for a reason.
But it's the smell on me. Okay, I'm being honest with you.
We'll figure that out.
I'm being honest with you.
Both the driver and
you heard him say no. That lets you know he's not intending on doing it. Again, this is where you stop and say, fuck all this bullshit. If you don't want to get fucking shot and you don't want this shit to turn out bad for you and your passengers, I suggest you shut the fuck up and you shut the fuck up and you, sir, step out of the vehicle now. Because if I got to put my hands on you, it's going to end bad for you and for them, and y'all all going to jail. I'm telling you, that's how you got to put shit down to see exactly. It's not that if you say it the way that I'm saying it, that they're going to do what you're saying. You're actually drawing a line in the sand to either see if this guy's going to comply or if they're going to keep bullshitting you and trying to hurt you. That's exactly what that is, what that does. Being forceful like that, being very assertive, it draws a line in the sand and say, let me see what the fuck kind of person I'm dealing with. Because if I draw a line in the sand and tell you exactly what the fuck I want you to do and the consequences if you don't, and you still try to bullshit me, I know you're a bad guy and I know you're going to try some fuck shit. Guaranteed. That's just it.
the passenger are resistant to the officer's request.
I came to give him a ride.
I gave him a ride. I ain't asked you shit about what you giving this motherfucker a ride for. I'm just telling you. I ain't saying shit about. Well, I ain't asked you none of that. He's offering up and giving you information that has nothing to do with the situation or information that you've asked for, which means he's trying to distract you.
to go see his bell bottom. You got your license and registration?
The passenger in the vehicle is heard asking the backseat passenger for a gun.
Huh? Stop reaching around, man. No,
now right there, all bets are off. All bets are off right there. Once you hear a motherfucker say some shit like that, not only am I gonna up my strap, I'm gonna potentially get to shooting motherfuckers. Who the fuck asks for a gun during a traffic stop? Like it's a coin purse or some shit, like your mama asking for her coin purse out of her purse in the back seat. Yeah, Brian, hand me my coin purse out of the back seat so I can pay for this McDonald's. Fuck that. The minute a motherfucker got the audacity to say, yeah, hand me that gun. Oh, so you really think it's sweet? You gonna be the first one shot, homie. Fuck all that bullshit. And this is the thing that I'm talking about, where he's so enthralled and going back and forth with this stupid motherfucker who's distracting him. He really doesn't understand the gravity of what's being said, which is going to lead to what's about to happen. So look, I'm going to go back and count the seconds that it takes for this shit to go.
I thought you want me to get...
The passenger in the vehicle is heard asking the backseat passenger for a gun.
Huh? Stop reaching around, man. No, I thought you want me to get the insurance card. No. Why? Sir, please.
So you heard him saying, give me it. Give me it. He's telling that other bitch in the back, the only one motherfucker who survived this shit was, of course, the woman sitting in the back, to give me the gun.
Stop reaching around.
No.
Why? Sir, please. Stop reaching around.
That's approximately 12 seconds. He started saying, give me it. Give me it. That's at not 141, but at 140. At a minute and 40 seconds. That's when he asks and says to give me the gun. Then 13 seconds later is when the shooting starts. He didn't even realize what was going on. He didn't realize the gravity of what was going on. And that's because he's going back and forth with a motherfucker who's literally just being evasive and resisting arrest. He's just not complying. He's just not complying. And he's going back and forth. And this is what happens when you go back and forth with these niggas. You're not living your good life and you going back and forth with these niggas. This is what happens.
I thought you want me to get the insurance card. No. Why? Sir, please.
You hear? Please? Please, sir? Please? And the fact that this dude knows what's going on, and he's not even thinking, like, man, this motherfucker about to kick all this shit off. We all gonna get killed.
The suspect's gunfire hits the officer in the hand. Gunfire also strikes his police radio.
Now, this is one of the things that I saw, and I was talking to my wife about this earlier because she actually sent me this video. Shout out to you, honey. Thank you. Police radios, well, I guess it must be a model thing, but the model police radio that we had when I was in Michigan, we had an actual panic button on our radio. So you know how you have your radio, and your radio's on your hip, and then you have the walkie, the microphone that comes up, and that's over here, and that's how you can, you do this joint. If you have that. But on the bottom of that radio, there's a panic button that you push, and if you push that button, it like your button, when you push that panic button, you literally take over the entire radio network for at least, I think it's like 30 seconds or 20 seconds or some shit like that, where you don't have to push anything else. You push that button and now you have an open mic across the entire fucking network. Yeah, some on top too. Okay, yeah. Across the entire network to where you can say whatever the fuck is going on, or if you just need to have somebody listen to what the fuck is going on, they can do that. And I don't know, I guess because it looks like he got shot in the microphone part of the radio that's up here, but I don't know why he didn't push that button. Because you can literally push that button and just start talking instantly. You push that button, you like, hey, I got shot, officer fired, shots fired, such and such, I've been hit, I'm on 73rd and Walcott, or whatever the case may be. You can just do that for that specific reason. You could be fighting somebody and be like, hey, officer down, I'm fighting the guy, I'm on 83rd and Justine. You could just be doing that. You can say, hey, guys jumped on me, I'm being attacked by 3 dudes, I'm on 122nd and Normal. That shit can happen. That's what that button is for. And I don't know if it's just that model radio that they had that doesn't have that, or if he just didn't think to do that. And they even have one of those it's on the radio in the vehicle too, where you can just push that button and you can just talk, open mic, for situations like this. Because he's shot in his hand, and unfortunately it's his right hand, his dominant shooting hand. And having that, he's now disabled. And I'm about to get into the other part of something that I noticed that he didn't do. See, Lancelot just said, he says the orange button, right? He says some are on top. Yep. He said that button saved my life so many times. I'm telling you, it's like, I don't understand why he didn't do that, but I get it. I understand, shit, you're not expecting this or whatever, but you kind of like should be.
The officer takes cover behind his patrol unit, dropping his weapon in the process. The officer retrieves his firearm from the ground, dropping his radio in the process, and returns fire, though his gun continues to jam because he is unable to firmly grip the gun as a result of the gunshot wound to his hand. While the individuals in the car cease fire, the officer continues to shoot as he sees movement inside the vehicle and fears he may be shot again by the suspects.
Now, shout out to this officer for getting back in the fight. I got to give him credit for that. Definitely want to give him credit for that. But here's the problem. And here's something that I learned just by being in the academy and just training. And this is something that you all should learn, whether you are a police officer or whether you are just a civilian. When you get shot, depending on where you get shot, you could potentially lose control of your dominant hand. Happens. It just happens. You can get stabbed in your arm, or you can get shot in your arm. You can get shot in your hand. You can get stabbed in your hand. The thing is, you have to, when you guys go to the shooting range, when you guys go into the gun range, indoor, outdoor, whatever the case may be, and you standing there on the line and you shooting, you bang, 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 you looking at your targets and it's good, you need to make sure that you shoot in you do what's called an offhand shooting drill. And that's basically what that is. Matter of fact, where's my service weapon? Basically what that is you, like, I'm dominant right-hand shooter. That's my dominant. However, you need to practice shooting with your offhand and not just shooting one magazine. Even if you need to spend a day, say, okay, today we shooting offhand, or half of my range time, I'm shooting offhand. Hey, I'm going to put 100 rounds on my offhand today. You have to do that. That's why I always say you got to not only go to the gun range, but you got to go to the gun range with a purpose. Don't just go shoot a box of 9mm and take your punk ass home. Start doing different things so that you can be prepared for that. Because I promise you, for those of you that ain't did it, go and do it the next time. Next time you go to the gun range, shoot with your offhand and see how good you are. You're going to suck if you don't do it. I promise you that. You're going to suck if you don't do it. If you don't practice it, it's going to suck, because it's not a thing of you switch. I mean, the way that you hold your firearm here like this, you get shot in this hand, holding that gun with this hand, because if you hold it weak when you shoot, because of the, what do they call that? Is it inertia? Is that what they call it? I can't think of what they call that motion. I think it's inertia. Because of holding that gun and it's weak like that, because you don't have a firm grip, the chain reaction that takes place of the gas in the gun once the bullet is fired, and that taking place because you don't hold the gun firmly, it will cause the gun to malfunction. That action being that action of that gun and that firing and that gas and that bullet going out and the gas pushing that slide back and loading up another gun. If you are not holding that gun firmly enough, you will get a misfeed like this officer here did. You will get a misfeed. Sometimes even in some guns, if you hold the gun sideways, that will happen too. And that's what happened to him. That's why he had to keep racking the slide. What he should have done, he should have went to his offhand. And a lot of times, one of the things that I do when I shoot with my offhand, I'm thinking or I'm anticipating the fact that I've been wounded. That's what that drill does for me. I'm wounded. I got shot in the shoulder, whatever the case may be, and I can't hold my gun. I do this. I put this hand to my chest like this, and I then hold my gun tight, and then I fire. Same mechanics, you're just doing it with one hand. Same exact mechanics. You putting that front sight on your target, and you're pulling the trigger. But you gotta practice that so that you can do it. Because if not, if you're doing this, when you do it, because you ain't did it before, you are going to actually have either poor shot placement, or if you're holding the gun too loose, you're going to get it to where it's going to do the same thing. So that's something that a lot of people don't think about. Like James Granson said, didn't know that. Yes, you got to practice that. That's something that you definitely need to practice when you go to the range. Put rounds down range with your offhand so that you are used to it. All you want to do in doing that is you want to build muscle memory. That's what you want to do. You want to build muscle memory, because if you don't, when you're hurt, you're scared, you're wounded, your heart is pumping and all that kind of shit, you got OODA loop happening and you're trying to do this, trust and believe it is not as easy as you may think it is to switch to your offhand when you don't do it. You got to understand what it's like shooting with one hand versus shooting with two. You got to realize that. So that's something that this officer definitely he missed the mark on that. He should have been trained enough to where he should have switched on his hand so that he could have put that whole fucking magazine in that car without having to deal with racking that slide. Yep, Wolf Bear says even use your weak eye. Very true. And see, I'm one of those unfortunate people to where I have I have to shoot modified Weaver. I can't shoot isosceles style because I'm left eye dominant, but I'm right-handed. Yeah, sucks to be me. Most people are dominant, are like if you're right-handed, you right eye dominant, and vice versa. If you're left-handed, you're left eye dominant. But there are some of us that are opposite, where we can be a left-hand shooter, but we're right eye dominant. Or we can be a right-hand shooter like myself, and I am left eye dominant. You want to see, like Patty, see, she's left eye dominant and right-handed. Same thing. We're in the same boat. So what I have to do, because even when I tried to shoot, I've tried to shoot isosceles like that, basically where you're standing this way and you're shooting like that. I've tried to do it and I can't. Well, I can, but I'm not very accurate with it. So I have to shoot what they call a modified Weaver. So I'm in a Weaver stance like this because I'm bringing my gun over to my dominant eye, which is my left eye. See, Lancelot says he's left-handed but right eye dominant. That shit is weird. And it's like you really don't know it. I think the way if you ever go to the gun range or if you're out somewhere, you want to, well, you don't even have to be out. You can just do it. If you want to know what your dominant eye is, you already know what your dominant hand is. If you don't know what your dominant hand is, I need for you to turn in your firearm and to never purchase or pick up one ever again. But if you want to know, I think you have to do the test where you take your hand and I think you do it like this and you put it on a target. And then what you do is you just naturally bring your eye back, your hands back to the eye that you see out of the best, and it'll take you, just like I just did, it'll take you to your dominant eye. I think that's how I did it. But that's what you do. You look at something on the wall, you pick a target somewhere, you pick a spot on the wall, focus in on it, you put your hands like this, and you literally just take that hand and those hands and you literally keep looking at it with both eyes open, and you slowly bring that that circle to your eye, whichever one it goes to that you keep seeing out of, and that lets you know which eye you're dominant in. Yep. So some of y'all may not have known that, but that's something that's very, very, very. And if you are opposite like me, try to do a modified weaver the next time you go to the gun range and shoot. Do a weaver stance where pretty much you're kind of to the side a little bit like this. Try to do a weaver and see if it helps your accuracy. Because I was taught modified weaver because that's what my dad shot modified weavers. So that's how I was taught. But when I tried to go isosceles, it was difficult. I sat there and I did the steps. I had the position. I bent my knees and all that. And I was trying to shoot isosceles. And I could, but I was not as accurate as I was when I shot modified weaver. So just think about that and definitely know what you're doing and know how you're shooting so that if something does happen like that and you switch, you know what you're doing. So like even when I switch hands, when I go to my non-dominant hand or my off hand, I actually turn more this way because my eye is dominant over here. So this is my dominant eye. So I want to make sure that I'm lined up with this eye and it's like right here with my arm and I'm there. That's what I do. So that's something that this officer should have been trained on how to do, or if he was trained and didn't remember, you need to practice it because when you get in these type of situations, this is what happens.
The officer retrieves his radio, realizing it is broken, and urges bystanders to call police.
Shots fired. Call the police! Call the police! Call the police! Call the police! My radio's down! Tell them my radio's down!
Now, this was another thing that he did, which was good too, because there was no gunfire at that point, and he was behind his vehicle in true cover, not concealment. He was in true cover. He reloaded. Very good. I got to give him kudos for that. Very, very good. He reloaded. He just didn't stand there with his gun with however many rounds he had left. I don't know how many rounds he had in his gun, but he saw that there was an opportunity for him to reload, and he did. Excuse me. And that's pretty damn good to do that while you're shot in the hand. I must admit that. Definitely. Yep. So that was good.
The relevant portion of the dash camera video synced with the officer's body camera video.
And now that was something too, how he like came across the vehicle that way. I don't know why he did. Well, I guess the fact that he did that, it did make him more of a difficult target, because if that person's shooting at him this way, him trying to go all the way back and try to turn around that way, I guess that would be making himself a little harder to hit. So I get that. No worries. I'm cool with that.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
And that's the chick in the back. And watch what this bitch do. She's trying to get over that truck, go into that. I'm telling you, I'd have shot her in the ass too, goddammit. While she's sitting in there bent over that seat, I'd have lit her ass up. Fuck that. I'm going all out. You getting every fucking round. If I got 37 rounds on me, I'm trying to give you all 37 to back up, get there. He's now on the other side of the vehicle. This is when he's shooting and racking the slide because his dominant hand has been wounded, and so he's what you would call limp wristing the gun. So that's why it's doing a misfeed. Boom. So yeah, that was So we just saw what actually happened. And I did that because I wanted to get back to this story that this guy's brother, or whoever the fuck he is, was talking about how his brother ain't never hurt nobody, but he still got smoked at Bebe's party. He's on bullshit.
Barbosa's family says he was on the way to HEB to pay a utility bill. They say the passengers were his friends at one time, but had been fighting over the past month before the shooting and sent Barbosa threatening messages.
The family says when they found out he was killed along Penn Road, he was nowhere near the HEB he normally visits. They believe Barbosa was being held hostage and that his passengers planned on killing him that day. They say the unedited video shows a nervous Barbosa, which they believe shows that he was in danger.
And if that was the case, here's my point to this. If that was the case and that's what he was on, why not get out the car? You had every opportunity at this point to get out the car. And I'm going to tell you this. Let's just say that they're right. The dude who's sitting in the front and his bitch that's in the back, they could be holding Sammie Barbosa at gunpoint. She could have had the gun in the back seat, and they could have been like, hey, whether you owe me some money or whatever, we going to get this fucking money from the HEB gas station or wherever the fuck, or the bank that's in HEB, motherfucker. I got your ass. Keep your gun on him, honey bunny. And you hold his ass at gunpoint while we go and just so happen to get pulled over. Fine. You get pulled over. This motherfucker tell you do anything stupid, I'm going to shoot your ass. Well, the bitch in the back seat got to shoot me. So as soon as the police officer tell me I got to get out the car, I'm rolling out that motherfucker. And I'm like, he got a gun. They trying to kill me. They going to do something to me. They trying to hold me hostage. They trying to rob me. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I can get the fuck away. Because if this dude is going to kill me anyway, or if this dude has already threatened to kill me, what do I have to lose by complying with the police? Especially, obviously, since I don't have a gun in this situation. The other motherfucker, the police officer, the other person in this situation does have a gun. Why not go ahead and try to see if this officer can help me? I'm going to be triple blinking or something so I can get the hell out of there.
After that shooting, the front seat passenger died. The backseat passenger survived.
The San Antonio Police Department says investigations into deadly force can take more than a year and point out their understanding of what happened could change as the investigation continues. Another video was also released tonight showing the gunman who fired shots at the San Antonio International Airport.
Now, we ain't going to get into that one. That's a whole nother shooting. But here's my thing, and I keep saying this about the release of this footage, this body cam footage, when police officers are involved in shootings. I get the fact that police departments want to be transparent, but once that initial investigation has been kicked off and y'all have the footage, y'all need to release all that shit. Plain and simple. Once you decided, hey man, all right, here's what we got going, this is what's happening. I understand it may take you a few weeks to get through some shit, but holding some shit for 60 days, 90 days, or whatever the case may be, that's straight bullshit. Y'all should be able to say, hey, look, here's what happened. Here's what's going on. We are actually going to say, hey, yep, we got to do this. We're going to put the officer on suspension or we're going to fire the officer. Y'all got to figure that shit out on what y'all going to do as far as the officer is concerned. You're going to say, hey, we're going to roll with this shit. Officer involved shooting was justified. There we go. Take the footage. I've made my decision. We conducted an investigation and we deemed as though this officer was justified in his shooting of person X, and that's it. Holding on to this shit for a month or 6 months or a year, some shit like that, that's bullshit. You should have to fucking release this shit. All police departments should have to release that shit within 14 days, max 14 to 20. I would say no more than 21 days. 21 days. So from the time that shooting occurs, if it occurs on a Saturday night, goddammit, y'all got 21 days to release it, which means you got 20 days to decide on what the fuck y'all gonna do. Or if you do just release it and say, hey, we still conducting an investigation, y'all can look at this shit and here you go, but we're still conducting our investigation. We got a lot of shit we got to uncover, depending on how involved the shit may be. That's exactly how that shit should go down. I don't understand why these departments that are trying to be transparent are holding on to footage or want to hold on to footage or don't want to release footage or editing footage. Unless you're protecting the identity of a minor or protecting the identity of an officer, that should be it. Once the family has been notified of the person that they died or some shit like that, clock ticking after that, buddy. Just saying. I'm just saying. That should be it. You should be out there and you should be putting it out there and it's just, hey, whichever way the shit goes, however this shit may crumble, we gonna stand by it. That's it and that's all. So I guess in order to just wrap this up, I would just say this. When it comes to these police officer shootings, the responsibility is on both the person who got pulled over or who's getting pulled over and the officer that's in charge. A little bit more of the responsibility is on the officer because they are the professional and they are the one that is in control of the situation. They have the authority, I should say, in this situation. And police officers, you all need to stop pussyfooting, stop babying, stop trying to be officer friendly with these traffic stops and these domestic violence calls. Stop these people from talking and running game on y'all and tell them what the fuck you want them to do, and you want them to do it now, or you're going to do A, B, C, or D. That's all I'm saying. Calvin says if he would have had a partner, would he still have gotten shot? Potentially, yes. Because that motherfucker in that passenger seat, he didn't give no fuck. He did not give a fuck. So that dude was, his mind was made to fuck up on what he was going to do. His mind was made up. So it's one of those things to where when you look at these types of shootings, you can always try to figure out what could have happened, what should have happened, how you could have, would have. The point is, people are going to do what they're going to do. And the best thing for you as the officer is you need to make sure that you are in control of the situation because your life is on the line. Period. I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I hope that these officers learn to stop being nice guys. Be professional, be assertive, and be precise in what you do. Stop trying to be these fucking these citizens' friends because they will get you shot and potentially get you killed. That's the big moral of this story. People that are civilians that are driving in these traffic stops, shut the fuck up and comply. That's it. Ask your questions after you comply. Ask your questions after you get your ticket. Ask your questions after you get to jail. I don't give a fuck. Just comply with what the officer's asking you to do because all you're doing is putting your life in danger. That's all you're doing. All that shit, he shouldn't have never did that. Maybe your family might be able to benefit from a shooting or get some type of settlement from a shooting, but your ass sure as fuck won't. And if that's what you think that all you have to offer your family is a fucking lawsuit settlement, then by all means, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. If that's all you think you're good for, if the only thing you think you have to offer is a fucking bullshit ass settlement and your life is gone and you're willing to die for it, then by all means, go ahead, keep doing what you're doing. Because that's what happens. And not only, and shout out to Leslie said, always have backup. Not only have backup, but have a backup plan. Know what you're going to do if this shit doesn't work and what you're going to do after that and what you're going to do after that. You should have 3 plans always working in your mind. I'm going to ask you to step out of the car. If you don't step out of the car, I'm going to pull out my taser. If the taser don't work, I'm going to pull out my pepper spray. If my pepper spray don't work, I'm going to pull out my gun. Whatever the case may be. So keep that in mind. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world. And even though it was a late show, y'all still chose to come here and fuck with your boy. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much. And remember, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You guys have a good night. I love you guys. Peace. Jim Johnson said, I got the best show on YouTube. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Love you guys. I'm out.
What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redmond, also known as the Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do two things. What are those two things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need you to go to the Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel. Now you may be asking, why would I do that, Brian? Because it's two of the hottest channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about. We talk about some of everything: politics, relationships, guns, law enforcement, community stuff. Anything that's happening, I'm willing to have a conversation about it. So come on over. You don't got nothing else to lose, and you ain't got nothing else to do. So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment, 2 channels, twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy. Peace, and I'm out.